You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Make yourself famous. A podcast covering all things WWE.
I have now returned to save the WWE.
NXT.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
And AEW.
Holy wrestling. I couldn't be more happy.
Here are your hosts, Kyle Gagliardi and Jim Tucker.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks. I am your host, Kyle Gagliardi, and joining me once again, per usual, is my co-host, the co-train, as Mikey Wilson would say.
Hey,
Jim Tucker. How we doing, Tuck?
what's going on, Kyle?
You
Another
know.
day in paradise.
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to say.
We are late 20s white men.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the go-to. Another day in paradise or living the dream.
Yeah, that's another saying that I like to go with. It's one of our go-tos for sure. But yeah, literally the same thing you've been up to, just coaching baseball. That's about it.
Coaching baseball, watching wrestling, living the good life, yeah.
Were you watching these shows live? I didn't see you on Twitter. I was a little disappointed.
No, I caught both Raw and SmackDown in the front half of NXT post.
That really confused me.
post-viewing.
I'm not going to lie there.
So,
But you are caught up. The moral of the story.
I am up to date. Took me a few late nights, but we're ready to go.
Yeah, tell you what, I'm glad I didn't stay up last night because my baseball team played until 3 a.m. So
Yikes.
at least you didn't have that to stay up for. But
I haven't watched the Red Sox game in a long time.
well, that's because they're not going to be making the playoffs.
Perks of them being eliminated early, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. But, you know, speaking of baseball and sports in general, we are part of the Overtime Sports Network at otsportsnetwork.com on the interwebs, at _OTSN on Twitter. Tuck, what is the Overtime Sports Network? If the people listening don't already know already.
Thank you for asking, Kyle. The
Yeah.
Overtime Sports Network is a conglomeration of blogs and podcasts covering every corner of the sports world, from pro wrestling to football, wiffle ball, tennis, soccer.
I don't think we got tennis.
I don't know if we've ever had a tennis blog.
I did play tennis. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. I also played tennis.
Really?
Wow.
How long? How many years?
4 years in high school. All 4
Oh,
years.
man. I wasn't a 4-year guy. I was a 1 year.
Oh, yeah. I
Ever reached the varsity level?
all 4 years.
Really?
4
So
years.
you were good.
Nah, I was the best player at a fair school.
Did you-
never won a sectional or anything like that?
Where did you went to Griffith, right?
Calumet. Go
Calumet?
Warriors.
Okay.
Hoo-hoo.
All right. Well, I didn't know that you played tennis, so we're going to have to get out on the court because I played 1 year and I was JV doubles. So
Nice. The Overtime Sports Network is looking for a tennis coverage.
I guess
Yeah.
somebody that could cover tennis.
Maybe,
Sure,
but-
why not? I don't care. We got a guy covering golf, and I just had somebody slide in the DMs, which you can do if you are interested.
I heard that's where it goes down.
They go down in the DM.
In the
Well,
DMs,
it was a
yeah.
song before, and still is a song. So
DMs.
yeah,
Yep.
that's it. I'm glad you know your pop culture there. But yeah, the guy that messaged me was like, "Hey, you got any basketball writers?" I go, "Not really."
You guy, thanks.
So if you want to be a wrestling writer, because the people listening probably like wrestling, shoot me a DM at _OTSN or at Kyle OTSN or at Too Sweet Kyle, or you can follow us on Twitter at Pod on the Mark, which is where you can find our show.
Yeah.
And where
It's a good
can
one.
they follow you, Mr. Tucker?
If you go to Twitter, you can follow me at JimTuck89. That's it.
What are you going to find there?
You're going to find a guy that reacts a lot to other people's stuff, and I put my original, if it's wrestling content, that goes on the at Pod on the Mark. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
I got to save the good stuff for the official podcast Twitter, but other than that, no creepy likes. I'm not a creepy liker on
Yeah,
Twitter,
we
so-
know a couple of those guys out there. But, you know, I was actually waiting for you last night because Otis made an appearance on SmackDown.
I saw that at like an hour and a half later.
Oh,
My
okay.
wife was down there. As soon as Mandy Rose was walking, she thought I was getting fired up about Mandy, and I was like, hey, lady, I'm happily
No,
married.
come on, guys.
Come on.
Yeah, there's the plug right there. Of course, we got to get excited. I guess we are now officially a Heavy Machinery, Ziggler and Rude podcast. I guess
Yeah.
that's what we can be.
They say in order to grow your podcast, you have to find a niche.
And those are our niche.
Very specific.
Yeah, very specific. And the only reason we like Heavy Machinery is because of Otis. But I mean,
Yeah.
Tucky's there too, so you got to give him some credit. But you know what? Let's talk some wrestling here, Tuck. Monday Night Raw from September 23rd, 2019. The show kicked off once again with the Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. And a different guy came out, Braun Strowman.
Yeah. I don't know how to take it yet. The feud between them, I don't know if it's going to spin off and run off into something. We saw how it ended at the end of Raw, but I don't know how to feel about Seth right now. I'm almost on Braun's side a little bit more.
And it seems like the crowd, too, is reacting in that sort of way, because now you're starting to hear faint boos when Seth comes out. Yeah. And Braun's getting get these hands chants when they're in the middle of the ring.
And Braun also called Bray Wyatt a Mr. Rogers puppet-loving psychopath. Yeah. And I respected that.
Well, I know who didn't respect that. Mikey Wilson. He put it on the blog at the Overtime Sports Network. He didn't like how, and I get where Mikey's coming from here, you're basically belittling the character of The Fiend by calling him Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, but Braun has to do that.
That's true, because he's the beastie guy.
Braun's the beastie boy.
Yeah, exactly.
As the big, what do you expect? Braun will fear no one. He's the monster among men.
Right.
He has to do it. And I don't think it makes the Fiend look weak. I don't think it does anything for the Fiend except enhances a feud between the two, if possible.
And I think it's something they might visit soon, because if the Fiend does beat Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell, why not just go right into Strowman? I know he's had multiple chances, but he would ask for another chance at Rollins later in the night, and then that was basically the scheduled main event. Kind of not so exciting opening, but it's the way to set up your main event on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it's one of those things you gotta use that to get to somewhere else. It is.
And then you did last week the whole Rollins and Firefly Funhouse promo to start off the show. So if you did that once again, it kind of gets repetitive, you know. So.
And props to WWE for not doing that.
Yeah, for sure. They did have a Firefly Funhouse in this show, but that was later on in the night. But another thing that's kind of been going on throughout Monday Night Raw over the past couple of weeks, we had the Viking Raiders and the OC. They had a match once again, and it's basically what you would expect here. Hard-hitting matchup between two very solid teams. AJ Styles was ringside, and guess what happened to him?
He got booted, baby. AJ, you're out of here. And I did like his pleading on the way. He kicked me.
You got to get into it.
Did the hair flip? He's got nice hair.
He does have nice hair, but did you notice what happened to him when he went up the ramp?
Yeah, Cedric Alexander showed up and did not get his butt kicked by AJ Styles.
Which is something that's never happened before. Right. Him getting the upper hand, which is weird, because I thought that feud was over, but is that like a side feud going on here? Because like AJ's kind of just...
He's in limbo.
Yeah, that's the word.
I don't know. I don't know that Cedric is a guy that makes him look stronger.
Take him to the next level.
He's already beat the poop out of him. So
you don't have to censor yourself. If you want to say a bad word, you can say shit, Doug.
He beat out of him what I put into your toilet.
Yeah, what you put into my toilet last week.
But Viking Raiders squared off against a team we've heard of.
Yeah,
and this is a nice mix that we're becoming familiar with a little bit more now, and it was a good win for the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, and I think this is a good way to keep building them, because obviously the WWE now realizes that now's the time to build these guys up after facing jobbers for months since they got the call up from NXT. So why not throw them in matches with the OC veterans? They know what they're doing in the ring. They get a good win here, and maybe in the near future they get a title match.
Are you nervous for the OC?
Well, first off, I want to point this out. Did you notice the new theme song?
I did.
I haven't really heard it since then, so I really can't judge it, but it makes sense.
My ears just perked up. That's about my only response to it. But yeah, okay.
Am I worried, though? No.
No?
I don't think I am, because, I mean, the OC themselves, like Gallows and Anderson, that is, they don't always necessarily need to be in the tag team title scene, as long as they're alongside AJ Styles. Because if you're alongside him, you're still on TV, you're still being utilized, and I think you can still make the OC look good in that aspect.
I would also say that, too. With those two without AJ could get lost, but it's kind of weird, though, because they're using AJ and they're together, but AJ's not making a ton of traction one way or the other either, but we still look forward to seeing the OC each week, so...
And what's also weird is it seems like ever since AJ won the United States Championship, he's been focused on the Universal title. He always talks about going after that. maybe worry about your own title and try to, have a good match with that.
Yeah, if you amp up the United States title and put on good matches against other people, and I would think from his standpoint, he would want to run roughshod on from a UFC standpoint, beat everyone in that division, and kind of in that tier, and say, hey, I'm ready. But
What's
right
next
now,
for you? Yeah.
it's almost like he's just pandering for a shot, and that doesn't, in my eyes, make him look strong.
Makes him look desperate. I mean, you already got something, man. You don't need to go after the Universal title. There's other people that can benefit from going after that. But I don't know. The OC right now, I'm not sold yet on, them being fully invested into this, but I guess we'll see where this goes. It's good for the Viking Raiders. That's basically what I got out of this match.
Yep.
And I think that's what you can agree with, too, here. Yep. So we move on to Michael Cole. He has a sit-down with Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. I mean, what was your thoughts on this? I'm a huge Becky Lynch promo guy.
I get interested in these sit-downs to see if they become a little bit more scripted.
Yeah.
I think she's raw on a mic when she's got a hot mic in the middle of a ring. Again, great, electric. I was nervous at the beginning of the interview, but I think she pulled it off and very strong.
Yeah, and she sold her match with Sasha, and that's basically what you want them to do with these backstage interviews. And I think Becky Lynch right now is probably the best promo in the women's division, and giving her that chance to sit down with Michael Cole, it's just a way of not putting her on TV, but you are putting her on TV, if you get what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to have her in a match that doesn't matter.
A run-in, Yeah,
right. And like a run-in. We've seen that a million times. Let her sell the match herself, and I think that's exactly what that accomplished there. So
I agree.
I'll give it a thumbs up there, but a thing that I won't give a thumbs up is Rusev. We know he's back, but he basically just...
He faced a jobber or something?
Hey, EC3 is not a jobber.
PCP?
Do you know who EC3 is?
What? I do.
Okay. For a second there, you scared me.
No, I do. I don't know that WWE knows who he is anymore, but Rusev's back.
And the weird part about this whole match was they didn't have any reference to the whole gender reveal segment of the previous week. This was just a match.
I know. And Vogus commented that he was actually a little bit high on the gender reveal stuff and some of the commentary, which, okay, I'll tip a cap to that. But for what? At this point, I think they totally botched the Rusev comeback.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was a botched return.
Have him get drafted.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, yeah, completely forgot about Rusev. Have him come out and do the flex thing.
Yeah.
We're all happy.
Yeah.
But that's 3-4 minutes of my life. We're never going to get that back, Kyle.
And I feel bad for EC3. I've been a big EC3 fan. And this is kind of reminding me of his NXT time. Even when he was in NXT, they really never had anything for him. And I don't know if that's on him, his character himself, which I think is a great character, the whole top 1% thing and cocky asshole thing. But he just, once again, this is his second tenure with the WWE. He's not finding his footing, and I think he's going to get lost.
Why can't you run him at the 24/7 title or something?
They were doing that.
And have him be a little bit more... Well, now you can't. We'll talk about that but for a minute. But I don't know. He could... I feel like... I want to say I feel like there's potential, but I don't... We have not seen enough of him to figure it out.
I don't think WWE sees any potential.
I know.
And why would you bring a man back to your company if you're just going to treat him the same way you treated him the first time around?
Send him back to NXT and make him and build him up. Let him take some time and build him up if you have to.
Yeah, I mean, the NXT thing isn't a bad idea, but after what point? That would be his third tenure in NXT.
And who's he going to overtake?
Not Adam Cole right now.
There's Velveteen?
No, not Roderick Strong. It literally is the undisputed era right now. So if you throw EC3 in there, it's kind of just lost in the shuffle once again. So he's in no man's land right now. And I agree with you. I think they botched this Rusev return too. So, I mean, I hate to be the negative one here. I know some of you might call me out for it, but not a fan. Yeah. Not a fan.
Nope. Still fan of the mustache.
Yeah, I know. I know you're a big fan of Rusev's mustache, as is Lana. We have seen her comment on Twitter about it. So,
wow.
Yeah, you could put 2 and 2 together there. But we're going to put 24/7 here together as a 24/7 title segment. Carmella and Truth were out there with everybody surrounding the ring. And Carmella told Truth, I can't do this anymore.
I got to respect it. She's being stressed. She's been the piggyback on all the escapes. She's had the ride of her life.
She's had to hide them.
For the 24/7 title. It's a lot. So to make matters better for herself, she just rolls them up.
And she's now the new 24/7 champion, which is the third female to hold that belt. I don't know if you can name the other two. Actually, it might be four. Kelly was the first.
That was on like the reunion show.
There was another girl on that. There was two.
Maria Kanellis.
Oh shit! Then she was the fifth because there's Maria Kanellis.
She got her off a mic, right?
Right. Yeah. There's Candice Michelle. There's Alundra Blaze, and now Carmella, which. Carmella's entertaining, but which we'll talk about her match on SmackDown. It kind of got confusing, but I'm a sucker for this 24/7 stuff. I don't know how you feel about the whole title.
I don't hate it. I don't want it interfering with matches and having it pop in. I'm not saying it does, but
it has though.
It is a good little comedy spot. If you're not, I was really upset when they debuted it. And I was like, this is just going to be a waste of time. But it does give shine to some people that would be lost in any other capacity. And, I think it's almost underutilized with the spread that it could have.
True.
R-Truth's already had it like 17 times.
19 now.
19, yeah.
It's pretty wild. He's starting to make history here with the 24/7 champion. People are starting to call him the GOAT, but, that's John Cena to me.
Yeah.
But let's move on here. Nikki Cross.
R-Truth, John Cena. It's the same.
They faced that capital punishment years ago. Oh, yeah. Speaking of old matches, did you go back and do your homework?
I did not.
What?
I did not.
Well, we're going to have to give you an F for this week.
I'm in moratorium right now.
What would you do to your student if they didn't do their homework?
I would publicly shame them and then get a parent email within 24 hours about how rude I am.
I'm going to send your wife, Mista, an email or a Facebook message and have to give you some punishment for that one.
Wow.
We'll let her take care of that. But yeah, Nikki Cross versus Sasha Banks. This was a long match.
They gave it a lot of time, and I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either. I thought it was pretty solid, and it was basically just them continuing this. I'm going to call it a Nikki Cross push because I think they are pushing her.
Well, Alexa could have fought Sasha the first round. They could have had her go first. And they didn't have to put any shine on Nikki. There was no super motivation to have to do this. I don't think people were begging for the match. So I agree. I think it is a cross push.
But it's weird, too, because she is one half of a tag team championship.
Yep.
And you're having these singles matches every single week with just Nikki. Like we've noticed, Alexa's not wrestling in these matches. Do you think that kind of devalues your tag division a little bit?
I think they're putting that on the back burner to strengthen Nikki as a wrestler, to strengthen the feud between Alexa and Nikki that is imminent, I feel.
Well, they haven't really had any tension yet. Recently, I should say, not yet.
Right. But I think it's inevitable.
Oh, yeah.
Imminent, meaning soon, is not the right word, but inevitable, I think it will happen. But then again, who do you eliminate from the top of the women's division picture to give that feud any kind of juice?
What are you talking about with Cross?
Yeah, with Cross and Alexa, if that were to happen. I don't know who it displaces among those top titles.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all, but I guess this is their way of doing it then if they're trying to push Cross, which they are, and it's working, and once again, the crowd was behind her, but Sasha Banks ended up getting the win once again, but Nikki looks strong in defeat. It does the job. It keeps Sasha Banks looking strong because she has a title match against Becky Lynch. And Nikki Cross has probably a 20-minute match, if you include the commercials here, against one of the best talents in the women's division.
Yep, good for her. Next
was another women's match, and a lot of people, once again, not happy about this one. Ember Moon versus Lacey Evans, two women that are kind of lost in the shuffle right now, I guess you could say.
Yep.
What were your thoughts on this match itself?
A couple interesting rope spots. Ember Moon had... from the bottom of the rope, she had
the stunner.
Yeah, so they did a few interesting spots, kind of to be like, oh yeah, they still can wrestle, but for me, it was okay. All right.
Yeah, I think
Lacey didn't look terrible.
I think she's getting better. And of course, I sound like a broken horse saying that. But
a broken horse?
Is that a thing?
You're beating a dead horse?
Beating a dead horse is what I would say, but it would be a broken horse if you were beating a dead horse.
And if you also beat a dead horse with a broken record, wow.
That's
double whammy.
That's a lot to think about
yes.
there. But no, I agree with you. It was nothing spectacular, but a lot of criticism for Lacey Evans. She put Ember Moon in the sharpshooter, kind of botched the sharpshooter a little bit.
Yeah, and Natalya,
she was watching.
Tip of the hat to her for commenting on it and kind of making it all one thing. So it makes Natalya look stronger over Lacey. That
she still talked too much for my liking. Natalya, every time she's on my television screen, I cringe. I just don't like her character, and it's nothing against her as a person. It's just never good.
It's very vanilla, very.
Robotronic, I guess you could say. And you would think after, I think she's been in the company for a little over a decade now, she'd be a little better of a promo, but she's not. But that's a feud I guess they're going with. I don't know if we'll see it at Hell in a Cell. It's probably not a high-profile enough match to be put on that. So maybe that's just a side feud to keep them busy.
There's a lot of hype coming up these next couple of weeks with the SmackDown debut, the season premiere of Raw, Hell in a Cell, the draft.
So this was the season finale.
Yes.
Of Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, so far, it was Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. And then we continued another feud that has been happening over the past couple weeks. Chad Gable and King Corbin. He's got new music as well. He's not the only one. The OC joining him.
Yeah, a little rebranding for the King here.
I liked it.
I'm okay with it. Yep.
It was one of those mashup themes, but they kind of gave it like the royal treatment.
Yeah, and it's changed because Baron has changed, right?
Kind of.
He just
wears a
cape.
He's the
king.
Yeah.
Which, he's the king that fights Shorty Gable.
Oh, they're really
front of before a fatal 5-way that Corbin had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
He just won King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And guys that he beat on the way are in the fatal 5-way.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. They're basically saying, well, if you lose to the King of the Ring winner, you get a shot at the Universal title. That's just WWE logic right there. But this match itself was probably the best match that these two have had. I think their chemistry just keeps building, and with Corbin's style, working with a smaller guy, or should I say short, because they want to emphasize that, it makes Corbin a lot better.
I enjoyed the King of the Ring final a little bit more. I thought this one...
Really?
Yeah, I thought this match was a little more wrestly,
which is Gable,
because, right? I didn't have as much emotional investment in it because the King of the Ring actual word title wasn't on the line. Mm-hmm. But they're good at putting that match on.
Yeah,
the
Gable's
two of them are good,
perfect underdog, and then Corbin's your bad guy that you're supposed to hate, and a lot of people do, but. The reason I like this one more is because the past couple times they've faced off, it ended with the end of days. But Gable finally, using his brain, scouted it, reversed it, turned it into an ankle lock. And when Baron Corbin knew the ankle lock was locked in, he had to go and get DQ'd.
Which made Gable look strong. So
yeah,
Corbin is on a little bit of a downturn maybe, and then Gable's looking great. And okay.
It's something
I'm not tuned out of it yet.
I think this should be on Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I would be fine. First pre-show, first match of the night, kind of get people warming up. It is a show. It is a match that could bring a pop from the crowd. From both ends.
It has been every time they've faced off so far.
Mm-hmm.
So if it keeps working, just have one final match at Hell in a Cell and have your king go over. Because
it could also be one of those nice mixer matches between two of the hot, bigger matches. It's still it's not gonna be a Jinder Mahal Roman Reigns intermission match.
No, not that again.
And again, I always mention that one because I saw it live and I was just so like,
you and me both, Money in the Bank.
Come on, man.
Yeah. It
wasn't... And so there's options and pliability with that match where you could put it on the card.
Yeah,
too.
I totally agree with you there. So we'll find out. I mean, maybe that'll be on the card and whatnot. I think it deserves to be because I'm a fan of this feud that they got going on. But speaking of that fatal 5-way that you talked about, it was a number one contendership match. The winner of this would go on to face Seth Rollins next week on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, that's a John Cena horn right there, if you didn't know. But yeah, when you put, I'm a big fan of Fatal 4-Ways, Fatal 5-Ways, I guess you can call it.
And does the word fatal mean elimination?
No, I don't think it does. I just think this one specifically was an elimination.
Okay, because
there have been Fatal 4-Ways.
Not elimination.
Correct.
Unless it is. Okay.
Unless they announce it, which they did.
I'm like, Fatal 5-Way, because it's fatal, does that make it an elimination match?
No.
I don't. It's just an adjective.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
they just like to throw that in there to make it more interesting, I guess, because why would you want to say 5-way number 1 contendership match?
Right.
Fatal. Now it's real.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking here.
Because at the beginning on some of those pin spots, I'm like, why are they not rushing in
to break it up?
Got it.
Yeah, because it's an elimination style. And when you get 5 really good wrestlers in the ring, you're going to have some cool spots. And that's basically what was happening throughout this matchup. And I was really, really a fan of seeing Ricochet and Rey Mysterio go at it because you got these two electric guys.
And Ricochet had a smile on his face when they got into the first tussle with just the two of them in the ring. Like, I have waited for this, and those two, they work well together. They are entertaining as heck.
They're high spot machines.
Yes,
and you need that in these matches.
Yeah. Especially, although there was a lot of good wrestling, you do need some of the tornadoes in there to mix it up and then get back to the wrestling. And when a 5-way blends, you have to try to fit 5 styles.
Exactly.
And I liked it.
Yeah, I was a big fan of this. We had Shinsuke eliminating Ricochet first. That was kind of surprising to me. I thought Ricochet would be one of the final guys there.
I thought it was going to be to the final 2. I actually thought Rude was going to get bounced early because he's a champion.
That's what I was thinking.
Then you start going through it, and you're like, well, Shinsuke's got a title, Rude's got a title.
Styles.
And, Styles, too.
There was 3 champions in that match.
So then you're like, okay. And then you start thinking about the guys. And then once Ricochet got bounced, it's like, all right.
Who is it?
But it was still a good match. So
yeah, and then after Shinsuke eliminated Ricochet, we had AJ Styles. They rekindled that feud that they had back in the day. Not really back in the day. It was like a year ago. But AJ Styles eliminated the IC champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
I was so hyped about that when they
fought
at WrestleMania.
Oh.
I was so jacked and underwhelmed.
Yeah, I've talked about that numerous of times. It was just, that was a dream match. I mean, for WWE fans it is, because it's happened in Japan, New Japan Wrestling, but we never got to see it in WWE, and their feud it never seemed to land.
It didn't even burn bright. It burned quickly, and it was a mediocre flame at best.
Yeah, very forgettable. That's why nobody's really talking about that WrestleMania match anymore.
A lot of dick shots.
Yeah, that's basically the Kakamora is what they emphasized there for sure. But after Styles eliminated Nakamura, then we have Rude, Styles, and Rey Mysterio. Rude would surprisingly eliminate AJ Styles with the glorious DDT, and it was a glorious one at that.
Glorious. Yeah. So Rude looks good. Rude looks strong.
He did.
And then Rude and Ray. Ray takes it. Okay. Your thoughts?
On Ray winning this? Yeah. I think it makes sense. I think this is the right choice.
I also think it makes sense because Ray could be someone that Rollins beats. There is that title match that you have on the season premiere.
Yes. Ray
can give a good match and get a strong push, and Rollins still retains to make everything seamless. He's the one that can stand to lose. Ray can stand to lose and still look strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been in the company for numerous years, so him taking a loss wouldn't be that big of a deal. But when I looked at this, I was like, Rude doesn't need it. He's a champ. Same with Styles, same with Nakamura. So it's either got to be Ricochet or Rey Mysterio. If you're doing this season premiere of Monday Night Raw, which names do you want in that title match? Seth Rollins versus Ricochet? Everybody's like, well, who's Ricochet?
Mm-hmm.
Or Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio, the 619, the cultural icon. Like,
yep.
Everybody knows who Rey Mysterio is.
Yep.
So having him in this match, you're going to get eyes on it. You know you're getting a guaranteed good one because he's a veteran and Seth Rollins is one of the best in the world. And if you really wanted to, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, throw the title on Rey for a week or 2 just to maybe delay the Fiend and Rollins.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if they wanted to pivot, or I saw rumors that Bray might be hurt.
Like actually hurt.
Like legit, and if that were the case and Bray can't go at Hell in a Cell, I could see Ray winning next week.
Yeah, well, I guess the outcome of that match will kind of indicate where that road will take us.
Right.
I'm excited to see Rollins fight someone smaller than him, because he's been doing a lot of the big guy limb targeting. I gotta rally and
Lesnar, Strowman.
Yeah, some of the bigs, and Bray Wyatt is no chump either. He's not nearly a monster, but Rollins would have to so he's been in this physical underdog lineup here. So I'm excited to see them both hopefully lay it all out there and not have it be kitschy.
Give them time too.
You have 3 hours.
Yeah, let them have a half-hour match. I don't care. Just don't put 4 commercials in the match because that ruins momentum.
And give it a finish, please.
Exactly. A clean finish with somebody coming out on top. Then again, if Ray won, I don't know if it would be clean. Maybe. I just put 2 and 2 together. No way Ray wins. I think the Fiend wants Seth Rollins to himself.
Yeah.
I think he might help Seth win the Fiend.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's something else. I like creating different scenarios.
What if in the middle of the match the lights cut out and they start making the noise or something? I don't know. You have options.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least with Ray there, you can do a lot. And I think that's why he was the right choice here. I'm cool with it. I'm excited for it. And we'll see what happens next week. But our main event was Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman. It was a rematch from the last pay-per-view. It was good action. And, of course, you got to have the Fiend show up because he's got to make his presence known. But he doesn't go after Seth.
He can't.
Yeah.
He doesn't want vulnerable Seth. Seth, cowered, though.
Yeah, he ran right into the corner. Right into his corner where he was at the week before.
I almost think that the section went a little long. I like the in and outs and makes you want a little bit more. The camera work was tight and
it was, yeah.
I love the way they're very close and they're on the mandible claw and you see you're
the struggle.
Yeah. And Braun sold well. Seth looked pitiful. Again, he was beat up, but his
I think that's how they're kind of selling this, that Seth's afraid.
And he said I was in no shape in the early. I was in no shape to face him. He had me in the right spot, kind of thing. They did it again. We'll see.
Yeah, and the thing I liked too about this segment, it wasn't just one mandible claw. He had to put 2 on Strowman.
So Strowman looks strong again, even after a match.
Right, because everybody that the Fiend has attacked so far, 1 mandible claw, you're done. See ya.
Boom.
But Braun Strowman, he gets right back up, and then you got to put another claw in his mouth. But once again, closing the show with the Fiend, it's a great decision because, honestly, who doesn't like the Fiend? It's at that point where I have not found one single person online, which is rare, on Twitter, saying they don't like the Fiend.
If you do find that person, they're lying.
Can we tweet at them?
Yeah, it's the same person that says they love getting tattoos because they like the way it feels. Bro, no, you don't.
Is that like me when I say I like getting shots because I like the way they feel?
You actually do like that?
I do like shots. I'm a big shots guy. I wouldn't say I like them, but if I have to get them, I'm like, oh, cool.
We'll see.
The needle's going to my
No, there's people that are like, I love tattoos. I love the way it's therapeutic. I'm like, you're a liar, dude. It kills.
Right.
I've had them all. I got them all different places too. So I've had good and bad. They all suck. So the person that doesn't like the Fiend is only saying they don't like the Fiend to try to get heat on themselves. And I will not acknowledge them.
No, that's exactly what they want, is you to acknowledge them. And if somebody says they don't like the Fiend and you're on Twitter, ignore them or block them. That's what I like to do. I like blocking people. It's a thing you can do nowadays. But
bye.
See ya. Let's move on to SmackDown here from yesterday, September 24th. We kicked off the show with Eric Rowan, another promo, interrupted by, is this the new Daniel Bryan?
Third Daniel Bryan.
Right.
He's done with the environmental stuff.
He still had that Tron.
Yeah.
The green Tron, but that will probably change.
That's not coming into the vocabulary, right? I thought Rowan looked good.
Yeah.
I think he's comfortable. And he was dealing with a crowd that was kind of he wasn't getting super whatted, you suck, but he was getting a heel reaction, and it looked like it was bugging him a little bit. He got through, fake bugging him. I thought it was a strong promo. And then Daniel Bryan pops up, and you're like, wait, this guy,
he's a good guy now.
Okay, yeah, right.
Like, just because him and Rowan don't see eye to eye, he's a good guy now. But what's your thoughts on this? Like, was it too soon to turn Daniel Bryan back to being a face? Do you think he needed a longer heel run, or is this the right timing with a certain network coming into play here?
I think he's a known commodity, and I think you want you want him to be a face.
Yeah.
And I agree with it. I think there was enough time.
Yeah,
with him being a heel, I was fine with it.
He had a heel run with the WWE Championship. I mean, how much more can you ask for? You really can't ask for more. And I think, and I referenced the network. I'm talking about Fox because they're going to be getting SmackDown.
Yep.
If you've noticed those SmackDown commercials, there's yes chants in there with Daniel Bryan doing the whole finger thing. Yes, yes. People are seeing that commercial. They're like, oh, that's the yes guy.
Yeah, the subliminal propaganda that they're putting in. So like, you don't have a choice. You're seeing it. This is part of our package.
Right.
So to that end and to that effect, I think Daniel Bryan should be a face. And I'm okay with it.
Oh, I loved babyface Daniel Bryan, too, because when he defeated Triple H and then defeated Batista and Randy Orton in the main event of WrestleMania to win the World Heavyweight Championship, that was arguably one of the best moments in WrestleMania history, and he just worked so well as a babyface. So in this feud and in this match, he was working as the babyface. Solid action, good spots. Rowan, like you said, has actually been pretty good, but you can't have a Rowan match now without Luke Harper showing up.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Are you not a Luke Harper guy?
It is what it is. I would like to see Rowan be a little bit more of his own. And I think he is. I think he's getting pushed as a
He is
one.
the mouth.
Right. And it does set up for the Bryan, Reigns, Rowan, Harper battle to the...
Yeah, I guess it's just a normal tag match
Yep.
because Rowan would get the win here because of Harper being there. And then afterwards, Harper and Rowan would try to put Daniel Bryan through a table again. And then Roman Reigns would come out and come to the aid of Daniel Bryan. So that match is officially happening. They didn't say any stipulation, just normal tag match.
Sounds like they're just going to go toe-to-toe for a good old Donnybrook.
And we always said, too, we thought this was going to lead to Bryan versus Reigns, but that's definitely not happening now.
No, you can't. You can't do it now. There's no way to spin it because you can't have either of them be a heel now.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
One of them turn their back on the other one of the tag match. Nope.
And I don't think you're going to see anyone turn heel or face on the very first show on Fox because if you have someone do that, then they're going to be confused on what's happening.
If you're getting any new viewership, which is kind of the hope, right?
That is the hope.
To get it, you kind of have to. It's more of a display. Here, this is who we are. This is who we have. Mm-hmm. Come back next week and see how it grows, shows, changes. You can't do anything on the first week. Big ass matches, recognizable names, pop off, and again, they've got a lot to cram in this 2 hours.
Oh yeah, this is a 2-hour show. They haven't moved to 3 yet.
Right. So the pedal's going to have to be put down.
Absolutely, and you're going to have to give Kofi and Brock some time unless you're doing an actual squash match, which could happen.
It could. I hope.
I don't want it to.
I hope not.
That's not how you end the
Make it
reign
a
of
good
Kofi
one.
Kingston.
Yeah, and is that the? Hopefully, from their end, is that the match you want to show? Does it?
Is
have
that
to be-
last?
Probably.
Or is it first? Is this? Hey, welcome to SmackDown. Cue the Lesnar's music.
Oh,
You
I
could
hope
also
not.
do that.
There's a lot of people popping up though that I think will sprinkle in to keep
true.
them tuning back in.
Confirmed Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. I believe Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be there as well.
Sting?
Was that fake or was that real?
No, I think it's kind of real. Lita?
I didn't see those. I didn't see any of those.
I think it was online only.
Oh, maybe I should have
Yeah.
looked into that before that. But yeah, no, the only ones I knew for sure were Hulk and Ric Flair. But if you're going to have all those names, then yeah, I mean, you're pretty much going all out. But if you are going to be doing that, don't have anything that was like this Gable and Mike Kanellis segment. Because you had Gable go out there and basically just say, hey, I'm Chad Gable. Mike Kanellis comes out. Once again, not referencing this whole gender reveal thing. So you're just having Mike come out to lose.
Yep.
What's the point here?
Listeners, viewers, thoughts, people, anybody?
If
WWE?
you're not progressing any storyline, which one, they're not progressing Corbin and Gable here.
Nope.
And two, they're not going off of anything with the whole Maria Kanellis baby situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Scratch it from the card. It never happened. That's something that we are going to completely ignore now because that was a waste of our times right there. And I love Chad Gable.
But to confirm the appearance of these Hall of Famers,
please
do. Big blue brand. We do have Steve. So
Austin. Is this breaking news?
No, it's not.
Damn it! I just wanted to use the audio.
Days. Good try. Good try. Hey, we can't plug it every week. We want to blow. True. We don't want to blow their ears out every single time.
Don't we have another audio thing?
We do. Once we take an intermission.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's fair. Well,
it's nice because we hear what people have been saying about the podcast.
Very true. Yeah, that's right. Now I remember. Okay.
So we have Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Sting, Ric Flair, Booker T, Lita, Mick Foley, Kurt Angle, Bill Goldberg, Trish Stratus, Mark Henry, and one of the Fiend's victims, Jared the King.
It's a loaded list. Is this going to be treated like a Raw reunion where they kind of just have backstage segments, or are any of these people actually getting involved? That's what I'm curious with.
I heard rumblings of a Bill Goldberg storyline popping up, maybe.
With who?
I don't know.
Like, I know... there's one person I know that wants to see that, but I know we're out on that. The one that intrigues me the most is Sting.
I know. I was a big Sting guy. Mikey Wilson, also another big Sting guy. Huge Sting guy.
There's always been these rumors ever since he got injured from Seth Rollins at, I think it was Survivor Series. I'm not sure. I can't confirm. But he was trying to make a comeback. So if Sting is actually returning to maybe have one more match.
What if he's just wearing a T-shirt and jeans, but his face is painted?
That's probably what we're going to get.
Oh.
That's probably exactly what we're going to get.
Put him back in the singlet with the pads built into it. Come on, give me the scorpion on
Vintage Sting.
What were those gloves? What did I forget, there was a word on the gloves, the specific type of glove that he used to wear.
I can't think of it, yeah.
But it was like a car mechanic glove. Yeah.
Like Michelin?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, but it wasn't Michelin. I thought I had it
was
on
not
the first
Michelin.
try. Okay.
No.
That's fun. But yeah, there's a lot of names there that will be showing up. It'll be interesting to see which way they decide to use them. But on this SmackDown itself, we had Sasha and Bayley teaming up once again to face off against Carmella and Charlotte. And the thing that I've really observed, too, since Sasha came back is that Boston Hug Connection has been getting more tag matches now than they were getting when they were tag team champions.
And after Sasha Banks said she didn't care about the tag titles.
And now all you're doing with Bayley, because Sasha's getting one-on-one matches, is putting Bayley in tag team matches with Sasha. It's a little confusing, but the match itself was pretty good. I mean, Carmella's involvement, once again, a little confusing, but I guess you had to have a face there. And then Sasha Banks, once again, for the second time this week, gets a win with the Banks statement on Carmella. But she's not the new 24/7 champion.
No. When you got a little confused.
I did. Did they announce that before the match? That it was.
I didn't also hear them, but I also didn't imply that because they did state that it was on hold before when
with Elias.
Elias, there you go. So in the back of my head, I just figured. I don't think they said like. It's on pause here.
They didn't announce it in the arena. I know that for sure. But they might have announced it during the commentary. And sometimes I miss stuff like that. So when that happened, I was like, oh, Sasha should be 24/7 champion. But her winning that belt would kind of probably devalue her right now, especially with the feud with Becky.
Well, that was like when Carmella won it, Sasha and Becky are in the back getting ready to cut an interview. Like
they don't want any part of that.
Bye.
Yeah, they're like, see ya. That's not what we want right now. But the match was good. And I guess this is just a way to keep the storylines going. And I think they got to start getting a little more creative with prolonging this Bayley-Charlotte feud, that is.
Yep. The weekly, here's our top ladies, and let's mix it up is, okay, it's fine. For too long, it'll get stale. So
yeah, it's one of those things where I know if I missed that match, I probably didn't miss anything.
Right.
Because you've seen it before, you've seen it a million times. So, I mean, it was okay, but whatever. That's basically my take.
You don't want to beat a dead record here.
No, exactly. Right. And then you had Ali versus Nakamura, which they actually wrestled this time.
Which was refreshing.
Think of that. I'm actually wrestling. But I'm getting happy once again because I'm a big Ali guy. He's getting more and more TV time, which is nice.
I'm going to go hard.
You like that theme, don't you?
It kind of gets me going.
The theme, the lights.
Yes.
I think he's got something there.
Yep.
It's something you can market to kids, especially.
You definitely can sell those lighted mask things or the hand. He's got the hand one, too, doesn't he?
It's like be the light or see the light. That's his like catchphrase, and it's good.
He is a good youth market.
Yeah,
base.
Him, Ricochet, those are kind of those guys that they're marketing to, because that used to be what Rey Mysterio was. And
yep.
I mean, he still is, but now that we all got older, we all respect Rey for what he was. But going back to this match itself, really good match. I think these two have potential to put on a really good match at a pay-per-view, and I think that's what we're kind of going to
I'm
here.
hoping it's what we're kind of going to. I've enjoyed them.
Because they hinted toward this about a month ago, I think it was, and then they kind of put it on the back burner, but now we are revisiting this.
Yeah, Ali's getting a little more screen time. We can't be the only two that are happy about that.
Yeah.
And it's a good fit for Shinsuke and Ali, the matchup. I don't know who else you would put Shinsuke against.
Right now, it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And Sammy being ringside, he knows his purpose, and he does it very well, but I still see a lot of people getting heated over that, and I think that means he's doing his job right. So kudos to Sammy, but definitely a feud that we both are giving a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
We're all in for this, so we might see it at Hell in a Cell. But this match happened. You ever heard the B team? The go guys?
The B
team, B team, go. Yeah, they had a match against the New Day, who aren't champions. The New Day won. Okay. Like, why? Once again, I see myself saying why many times this week.
Yeah, you saw George Kittle.
That's true. He was hyped.
So that was okay.
Yeah, we'll move on. So the Kabuki Warriors, who haven't been on TV in a while, they faced off against Fire and Desire. It was nice to see Kairi and Asuka get on TV because they're both very talented and they end up getting the win here. What are your thoughts on this whole ordeal?
Interesting, because I wanted to see how Fire and Desire would do. Now they're on a little bit of a cold streak. So
I wonder if there's maybe potentially going to split those two.
That would be one that is a little more splittable.
I think
among some of the pairings that you have, yeah.
I think Sonya Deville could be a good face, like a badass baby face, kind of like what Shayna Baszler is in NXT, but on the main roster. Like, hey, I could kick anyone's ass, like, because she used to be, I believe, an MMA fighter, and they kind of were hinting towards it with Mandy being all focused on the cover that she's on.
Yeah, and that kind of bugs Sonya a little bit. I'm not dying to keep these two together. I don't have to have them together.
Agreed.
And I almost think Sonya is due for a little bit of her own. I like watching her in the ring. I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's usually pretty clean, and I think her and Mandy could make a career by themselves. So if that's what they're going towards here, then good for them. I think it makes sense. But I'm also happy the Kabuki Warriors won because two talented women. They really didn't know what to do with them as singles. They put them into a tag team. Are they now next in line for Bliss and Cross?
Yeah, I hope so. When I got into it, Asuka became my favorite wrestler in the women's division, and the bumpy fall down the staircase.
The having her lose right before WrestleMania thing kind of ruined everything, and then she wasn't on TV for months. Like, where's Asuka?
Right.
Finally, she's back on TV, but I still, when I watch these two, the Kabuki Warriors, I feel like Asuka's mad. I think she wants to be freed because she knows what she is.
Yeah, it's like she's kind of being handcuffed right now. I could see that.
Yeah, but if you're going to have them be the next challengers, I'm here for it. I think they actually could benefit from using those tag teams. And if the Kabuki Warriors did win, then you could start that whole split with Bliss and Cross.
Where was Paige, though? Is that not a thing anymore?
She just had surgery.
Oh, okay.
She even tweeted about it. Somebody tweeted out there, they're like, where's Paige? And then she was like, I just got out of surgery. I'm glad to see my girls on TV.
I'm hoping, because if they do get a tag team title push, they're going to need a little bit of a mouth for them.
Yeah, and Paige, really good on the microphone. So that's a good pairing there. Then kind of the final segment here, we had Shane McMahon. He called out Kevin Owens to the ring to discuss their situation that's been going on over the past couple weeks. And Shane offered Kevin Owens his job back and to wipe the slate clean.
Well, if I'm trying to duck a $25 million lawsuit, I'd give him a title.
Right, you would think you would say, hey, here's a title opportunity. But
you don't even have to fight for it, brother.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Universal title. You're the man.
But what did Kevin Owens say to that offer?
See it.
Just basically shove it.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. It's not happening. and he proposed something else. He challenged him to a match. I was worried here, Tuck. I thought he was going to say Hell in a Cell.
I was also a little bit nervous. I was like, dude, we saw it last year.
This.
Like, okay.
So do you understand what the match is?
It's a ladder match for place in the company, right? I mean,
it's basically a contract ladder match. I think that's what they're selling it as. They've done this before, and I think it's different. And I like that they decided, hey, we've done Hell in the Cell with these two, and it literally happened last year.
Yep.
So ladder match, put the contract on there. And ladder matches are always fun. And probably Shane or
gives
Kevin.
You the stipulation to get a few of the stunts in, and here we go.
Which Shane is good at. He's known for taking high spots, and he'll have the opportunity to. So that match having that stipulation, I'm interested again. I'm here for it. But after this, no more.
No, please. Please.
Like we said last week, Brock Lesnar,
Come on.
Kevin Owens.
Come on.
Let's make it happen. That sounds that's very interesting right there.
Yes.
But the show didn't close with that. It was the last segment in the ring. It closed basically with Sasha Banks beating the hell. Notice how I said hell there.
Yes.
Out of Becky Lynch, basically just in the back on the fence, putting her face into it. Sasha's looked very strong these past couple weeks.
Yep. They've done a good job booking her. She's looking strong and mighty. I don't know that I would have closed with that segment. I think I would have liked the KO Shane to end it. I don't know that we needed to end with Sasha doing that to Becky. It could have happened right before it too, but
KO and them end the show with like a stunner or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense, but
again, we're splitting hairs.
No, absolutely, and I mean that's what we're here to do. We're nitpicking at this point, just to dive into the show itself, because once AEW starts up next week, we got even more wrestling to talk about.
Yes.
We're going to be diving into that as well, because me and you are rookies to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I can say I've probably seen 5 shows of theirs.
Yep.
That's about it. So, but overall, this week, Raw versus SmackDown, who gets the edge in your opinion? As you yawn, that might be a...
It's been a long day. I'm trying to think back. I think I'm going to give the thumbs up to Raw.
Really?
Yep.
What was the thing that put it over the edge?
The whole Fiend thing. I like their use of it. The 5-way match was a good match.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know. I thought there was a little bit more substance in the ring on Raw, but there was a lot. I think there was a lot more needle moving on SmackDown.
See, I thought there was better wrestling on SmackDown this week, because Ali and Nakamura really did it for me. That one was really good. And then, I mean, whenever you have those women in the ring, but honestly, I didn't like either show that much. But this is tough for me.
Give it to SmackDown. We'll give it a split.
Yeah, I'll give it to SmackDown.
Bang.
I just have turned into a SmackDown guy, it seems.
Look at you. Kyle SmackDown Gagliardi.
SmackDown Liarda, I guess you could say, as we combine the names there. But last thing we're going to talk about here, we watched the first hour of NXT this week, and the first hour, once again, was just on the USA Network.
Yep.
As we are recording right now, it is on the WWE Network, so we're not going to talk about that. What match did they decide to kick off this week with, Tuck?
It was Keith Lee versus Dominic Dickhead.
I was going to say, do you know the pronunciation?
Yes.
Dijakovic.
No, I know that you didn't get Kenny Omega.
What do you mean?
He cut a promo.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Called him Dominic Dickhead.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people didn't like that from Mr. Omega.
I don't know what they're trying to do with him. But the Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic match, Keith Lee... as I like to say to my good friend Rat, moves well for a big man.
He does. I mean, these are both big guys. Like
thunderous in the ring.
You could hear the impact every single time. Like they were doing high flying spots. Keith Lee was doing flips. Dominic Dijakovic with a power bomb off of the rope. I mean, this was their third match that these guys have had. They're kind of got like a series going on.
Yep.
And I've loved every single one of them.
Yeah, for a match among big men was not nearly as slow and pacey as I think you would think. So it almost makes you appreciate it more when they get after it.
Yeah, they look like cruiserweights out there. And these guys are over 300 pounds. But Keith Lee ended up getting the win.
Yeah.
Once again, another really good match. So now in their 3 matches, we got Keith Lee, that's 1-1. Dijakovic is 1-1. and they had the double count out in another one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So either they're building towards just another match on NXT, or this is going to be at a takeover. War Games.
The next takeover, that's War Games.
War Games is the next one.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that in person. We're going to be there. Why not?
Do it.
Let's do it. I'm all in for it. Dominic Dijakovic, Keith Lee, congrats to you because you guys absolutely killed it to kick off NXT this week. And then we had a return of Dakota Kai. I don't know if you've ever seen any of her work.
Yeah. On a takeover?
She was
I know who she is.
The match before a takeover or something like that, yeah. But Team Kick is back. I'm a big Dakota Kai guy. She posted one of my videos on her Instagram last year, so shout out to her.
That's true. Yeah, you're in.
Yeah, I'm in kind of deep with Dakota Kai. But she faced off against formerly known as Tainara Conti. She lost her last name, apparently. She's just Tainara with a black belt now. But short match, short and sweet, showcasing Dakota Kai and her kicks. Hashtag Team Kick. She's back. Very excited. I think she's what the women's division needs for NXT.
Yeah, she's talented, good little wrestler.
True babyface, too.
And with where they're at in that women's division,
kind of a transition.
You need a little bit more juice because I don't know that Shayna's going to stay there that long.
No, and Shayna's either 40 or getting close to 40 in years of age.
Right.
So if you want to see what Shayna can do on the main roster, I think you need to pull the trigger.
Yep.
We need to get that going. We need to get Shayna up there. So maybe next week, Candice LeRae takes a strap.
I think it's going to happen.
You do?
You
think Candice wins?
Yeah, because those that are going to watch NXT next week with the Wednesday Night War going on, you don't need those big old names like you will for when SmackDown goes to Fox.
True.
They gave Candice LeRae a big push, the first match ever live on USA.
Good point.
So the new one, they drew 1.1 million in their first week.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty good.
A fat number.
Yeah.
A lot of the people, a lot of my follows and the people that were hoping for 750, 800,000.
Oh, then they exceeded expectations.
That was, 1.1's fat. Now, what's it going to be in 2 weeks? It's going to be interesting.
Well, we have 3 title matches
with limited commercials.
They emphasize that a lot tonight. Limited commercials.
Not many. We're less commercials.
Don't fucking change the channel, Tuck.
There's
no other wrestling on,
and there's no limited commercials.
Limited. So and we have 3 title matches, which makes me wonder. One of these has to change, but. We're going to talk about this match before we talk about those title matches because the winner of this street fight between Matt Riddle and Killian Dane would earn a title shot against Adam Cole. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched NXT, we're about to tell you who wins. It was...
Matt.
Bro. I really wanted you to throw that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Bro.
Yeah, a lot of cool spots in this one.
We talked about the no-shoe thing, that is a wild thing.
Like the grip can't be good.
No, again, you mentioned the bottom of your foot sweats, bro.
Yeah,
like,
bro. That's not what you were doing. That was intentional.
Good match.
Yeah.
They
went through a wall.
They dry a wall. Yeah,
hey, that was a real cement.
It hurt. Again, it all hurts, but
yeah,
it was a good match. And now you've got Matt Riddle, Adam Cole. We talked about Triple H's and WWE's opinion of AEW based on how they booked this first full 2-hour show against AEW.
Yeah,
they respect AEW enough to book a strong ass show.
Yeah, because we have 3 title matches now: Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle for the NXT Championship. What?
You said Verthuf.
Oh, did I?
All right, Mike Tyson.
I didn't even notice it.
Verthuf?
That's what usually I do notice it, but not that time. Street Profits, they'll be facing off against Fish and O'Reilly, and then Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler. So you would assume one of those changes, and I'm assuming that you would say it's Candice LeRae.
I'm gonna bet on the Candice LeRae winning that one, and then that sets Shayna up to be drafted.
Yeah, that's true. I originally was going to say everybody retains, but since AEW makes their debut next week, I feel like it'll be like back in the Monday Night Wars when Mick Foley, everybody knew he won the WWE Championship against The Rock, so everybody switched channels.
Yeah.
I think they're going to want a title change where somebody's watching AEW, oh, Candice LeRae is about to win the NXT Women's Champion. I got to flip over.
Yeah.
They got to do it. So I'm going to roll with you. I'm going to say Candice as well. But after all that Shayna's faced, Candice really is going to be the one?
I don't.
She's not the strongest.
Right. It does make me nervous, but when Dakota Kai, I think, will get thrust. Everybody likes Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Like perfect. That's your perfect woman in that division for people to get behind, too.
Yeah. I think Candice is, too.
Yeah, I think so, too.
They're, like, kind of the same.
But, yeah. So do you put... I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
The thing that's nice with this Wednesday Night War, it's not that one company is going to shutter and dominate the other one and make the other one fold.
Right.
We're just going to get spoiled.
Yeah, because they're going to try to be the best show every single week.
The product has to be tight, dude. We can't lose eyes. It's not. I don't think that either company feels threatened to lose their actual business. I have to keep eyes, and I think that bodes well for the viewer.
And I think
especially if you have 2 TVs in your man cave like me.
Yeah, I don't have that. I got 2 TVs, but not 2 cable boxes. But I think AEW is going into this looking like we got nothing to lose here. Mm-hmm. We're fresh, we're new, we're more exciting. But WWE also is looking at it like we're established. We're the WWE. We've been around for decades.
Yeah.
So in that instance, you're going to get a win because it's wrestling and it's going to be good.
Hopefully a lot of good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think next week will be good. AEW has one title match. It is Rio versus Nyla Rose. That's the only match they have confirmed. That is for the first ever AEW Women's Champion. Give me a quick pick. Who you got?
Nyla.
Yeah, I think they're going to go with Nyla Rose too. And once again, I think it has to deal with the fact that she would be the first champion. She's transgender. So I think AEW wants to be that demographic that just breaks down barriers. And good for them for doing it. Because,
and that's great.
Yeah, we totally agree. It's great. But I'm just not a big fan of Nyla Rose. But
I'm not smitten with her either.
My pick would have been Britt Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Everybody knows who that is that's watching AEW. And easy to market. She's easy on the eyes.
She's good at wrestling.
Great wrestler, yeah.
Good personality.
Absolutely. Eventually, though, she's got to be put right back into that title scene.
100%.
So, yeah, whoever wins that match, Britt Baker might be the next contender. But that's all we're going to talk about, really, about NXT. I want to give a quick shout-out to our OTSN brother/sister, because there is a girl on that podcast.
Hey.
People forget about that. A work in progress. They have a new show out called NXT Talkover. And they basically break down everything that happens in NXT in just that episode. So if you want a more lengthy and in-depth talk about NXT, go ahead and check them out at AWI Pod on Twitter, hosted by Brent Piles and Erica Marini.
Nice. It's a long episode regarding one show, but the episode length is like perfect. It was like 35.
Oh, yeah. It was like 35
minutes.
to 40 minutes.
That's perfect in a sweet spot. You cut it between 2 drives or whatever. I listened to the whole thing on the ride home from softball. Perfect.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to anything that they do, Erica Marini might be one of my favorite podcasters because she just says whatever the hell she wants to say, and she doesn't realize sometimes she actually knows what the hell she's talking about.
She just took a DNA test.
She turns out she's 100%.
She's 100%
that bitch.
Well, good podcast. I will not.
I think she likes to be called that bitch. So, Erica, you are that bitch. I know you're listening, so... Thank you for listening to us. But, I think that about wraps us up. Tuck, what do you think?
We're at 1 hour, 3 minutes, 63 and a half minutes. We're getting into the swing of things here, and I've enjoyed it. The numbers in every regard are popping up between the podcast, our Twitter following, our interactions. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. And
next week's great.
Bro.
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too. The thing that we're gonna have to figure out is when do you cut a show with Monday, Wednesday, Fridays? It's gonna be interesting because
oh crap, I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm. Because if you cut it Tuesday, you have to wrap up 6 days ago as NXT and 5 and preview. It's tough.
Oh, we're gonna have to do some thinking here, Tuck. But I think next week we should do it on Thursday so we can just digest all of that wrestling that's happening on Wednesday. What do you think? Is that cool with you?
And we're gonna on Thursdays and get it out Thursday because we can do it a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, we could do a little SmackDown preview because it's the big SmackDown on Fox.
We will have everything in front of us before the big SmackDown push. We can do that preview.
We'll do that, yeah.
And
wrap up.
We
AEW.
can get it. We'll be able to get it out that evening as well to get a few clicky clicks. So
sounds like a plan.
Looking forward to it. We will be ringing your ears in about a week or so. For Kyle Gagliardi, I am Jim Tucker. Thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the On the Mark Podcast.
Brock Lesnar going for F5 to Cena for the championship. Lesnar with the cover.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information and updates, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Pod on the Mark.